Fortunate and we are honored to host Din Tesler. Din was in charge of part of the security during the Nova Festival. That's the nature festival next to the Gaza border where Hamas terror on October 7 slaughtered hundreds of Israelis that came just to celebrate. And he will share with us his story, how he survived, and he's here with us to tell the story. He will also share with us the story of his best friend, Bar, who is still a hostage in Gaza, and we all pray and hope and wish for the quick return of Bar and for as many as possible hostages alive back to Israel. Thank you very much for being here, Din.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Din Tesler. I'm 22 years old. I'll introduce myself. I'm 22 years old. I'm released from the army almost 2 years ago. I served in Special Forces, Sayeret Nachal. I'm released from the army, start to work. I start to build my life like every kid in Israel after the army. I start to work in sales. And October 7th, I work with my best friend. His name is Bar Kupperstein. It was just one-time job. At that weekend, they offered to us to work together as security guards. But it's kind of to be more a bouncer. And we were a security guard without weapon. I say that because it's the most popular question that people love to ask me. And in the end, I will explain how we work security guards without weapon. And this Bar Kupperstein, a little bit about him, he's my best friend. Unfortunately, he did his last birthday in Gaza. And about us and how I know him and how he's my best friend. So basically, we've grown up together. Already 10 years I know him. We started together in the same class since 7th grade till 12th grade. In the same class, the same classes. So honestly, every time I get trouble, he get trouble with me in school. And we get trouble a lot. Israelis, you know, Israelis. And more than that, we finish high school. We go into the same day, to the same unit, to the same room in the army, but only for a few weeks. And both of us came as a two best friends from Holon. Holon is 20 minutes from Tel Aviv, if someone knows the name. We're growing up in Holon. And I'm survived. I will tell you exactly what happened from perspective of security guard. And 6:30 in the morning, rockets in the sky. My job as a security guard was to be a commander of the gate around the party. So all of the night till 6:30, I driving on my ATV and just doing patrol since around the party. And Bar's job was in the highest level of the security guard, but we worked together all of the night. And 6:30 in the morning, rockets in the sky. We got a call from the police on the radio, and they told us, Din, Bar, and more security guards, tell the people leave right now, fast that you can. I will show you a short video of the first moments with the rockets. So like you said, the video, people still don't know what is going on. They still in the mood of partying. So me as a security guard, I try to tell them leave together with my best friend. In around 7 in the morning, we got another call from the police and they told us open the emergency exit. For me, I know exactly what they're talking about. It's the back exit of the Nova. And I don't know if people know that. At the Nova, they've been almost 4,000 people. So it was really hard to tell the people leave in one time. It was really a huge traffic. And I know exactly which emergency exit the police talking about. It's just the back exit. And me and my friend tell the people follow us. We take them to the main road, 232 road. And what the police told us to do is tell the people going left. What does that mean to go left? I don't know if you know a little bit about the map, but I will explain. The Nova Music Festival was in an open field between two kibbutzim. Kibbutz from the left that called Be'eri, and kibbutz from the right that called Re'im. Both of the kibbutzim, they get attacked by the terrorists. But at that time, when we told the people going left, we still don't know, of course, what is going on around us. So we just tell the people, going left and keep drive straight. And after a few minutes, we saw a lady from the right, and she get out from the car, and she was bleeding from the head. And for me, the security guard, I started to ask her a question, what happened, talk with me. She's just crying, catch my arm and tell me, please save me. And honestly, I didn't know why she bleeding, because for us, as Israeli guy, we used to it in Israel. We used to rockets in the sky every while. I tried to talk with her, she don't respond. I call in the police. I have injured woman, I need help. They told me take her to the ambulance and let me know what's going on. I take on my ATV, the injured lady, and the moment I put her in the ambulance, she just looked at me and told me terrorists attacked us. And what happened, it's the first group that get out from the party and take the right to Re'im. Less than a mile, terrorists waiting on the roads. I know who watching videos from that day, but terrorists waiting and just shoot on every car. That woman was one of the first injured person that coming back to the party. The paramedic told me and my best friend, many of injured people right now in the road that they need help, and we coming closer to the same position, and we saw more than 40 injured people, that most of them they get shot. And Bar and I, we start to take care of them. We start to do a tourniquet. Everyone knows the tourniquet? Tourniquet? The blood need to stop bleeding. But the fact how we did a tourniquet, Bar take branches from the ground. He take off the shirt from that person, do something with his hands, and just to make amazing tourniquet. And I'm after him, just push harder. And this is how it works. That he start, I'm after him. And this is what we're trying to do for 30-40 minutes, just take care of the others. After 40 minutes, we got another call from the police that we need to open another emergency exit, but this time to a village that's called Patish. Probably most of you saw the famous video that you see people running in the open field. Probably most of you, I guess. That group of the people, they run into that village that's called Patish. That village, I don't know if people know, the most and the biggest group that survived from that morning, they run to that village that's called Patish. So like you see in the video, people running in panic, don't know what to do. Bar and I were driving on the ATV in the same time and just tell the people, keep running straight, keep running straight. We saw a group from the left that just landed on the ground, don't move. We come in closer and we see 3 injured women, that 3 of them, they get shot in the legs. We did really quickly a tourniquet, take them on the ATV, drive them back to the party, and then the police call us to come to the road, 232 road, or the death road, and it was a few seconds that we realized the terrorists, really, we see them, and the first shooting start to come, and we see from Be'eri, the kibbutz getting attacked. I think less than half mile, I don't know exactly how much is in meters, but really close, we see terrorists jumping from their cars and just shooting on us. For me at that moment, I'm with my best friend in the road, and Bar just screamed at me and told me, Din, get inside to the party. The terrorists came from there, and the party was over there, so it was the smart thing to do at that time, to get into the party. I start running into the party. Bar decided to stay there in the road to help to injure people, and it was the last time they see Bar till today. From that moment, we just split up. From stories that I hear, they take care of injured people when the terrorists shooting on him. Like I tell you in the beginning, we didn't be armed without weapon, and from stories that I heard, Bar take a weapon from police officer that died, and he fights how much that he can. And then they send RPG, the terrorist. Everyone go to different directions. and then they take Bar as a hostage till today. I didn't see the moment they take him hostage, but I don't see Bar already more than 1 year, my best friend. From that moment, I just started running into the party. I sent locations to many friends, tried to get help, and the shooting just started to come and more. I will show you a video of me inside of the party, calling on the radio and telling that shooting on us on the camp. I speak in Hebrew, so this is the translate. 1 second. I just say they shooting us on the camp. After I get into one car and then get out and then get another car, basically I don't know what to do with myself, honestly. After a few moments that I'm thinking with myself, I tell myself that I cannot wait anymore. I need to do something. I need to run away. So I take with me a small group of 10 people and we start running into the woods. I was the only security guard, so it was kind of, the feeling of mine was that I need to lead them with me. I will show you a picture of the map of the Nova. As a security guard, I know the map really well. So this is the map of the Nova. When I say before the emergency exit, the back exit, the first one that we saw the lady, first the people get in from here in the beginning, in the night, Friday nights, and they drive over here, and this was the parking lot. When they told us to open the back exits, first of all, it was over here, huge traffic, people cannot leave. And the back exit, it was from here. The lady came from here, from the right. When you see people running in the open field, the famous video, they run into that village, Patish. This is the open field. And we saw the terrorists in front of us. This is Be'eri, the kibbutz that getting attacked. In the beginning, they came from here, and then the terrorists came from here, and also from here. 3 of them. From me, of course, I don't know from where the terrorist is coming, so I just running. I was over here, and then when I take the group with me, we start running over here, into the forest, to the woods, and we just running. We're running from bush to bush. We just see big bush, jump into it, wait in a few minutes. The shooting is worse and worse, so we jump to the next bush and the next one. And this is what we're doing for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, that we're just running and running. The last time that we run, unfortunately, terrorists saw us and they shooting on us. And unfortunately, I saw how most of my group just died in 1 second. Yes, unfortunately. And for me, it was 1 second to realize that the group with me, most of them, they're dead right now. So I need to keep running with myself. So I just keep running by myself. Looking the sides, I'm by myself. I keep running, shooting around me. I see bullets landing on the ground over here and over here, really close to me. After a few minutes of running, I saw a cactus bush, really big one. And I jump into it and I hide in the cactus from 10:30 in the morning till 7 p.m. Almost 9 hours, the longest my 9 hours in my whole life, I can tell you. Every second feel completely years. I will explain what happened also between the hours. I jumped to the bush around 10:30, send locations to many friends, try to describe kind of where I am. What I heard in the beginning is the shooting. It's the screaming of Allahu Akbar of the terrorists. It's the Arabic music from the terrorist cars. And also if it's the screaming of Israeli civilians, people, they're just begging for don't kill me. And with all of that, I don't have a weapon, I don't have how to fight. I'm just inside of the bush and hearing all of that and just pray to God. In around 1 p.m., I'm hearing the terrorists really behind me, behind the cactus. So in 1:35, I feel myself. I just feel myself because with myself, I'm realize that I'm going to die, and I want that when my parents will see my last video. I will share with you the video. is in the middle of the cactus on my back. Like you see, just crying and begging for help from God. After a few minutes after the video, I'm really hearing the terrorists behind me, close to me. So I start to do goodbye messages. With me, I didn't introduce him, but I will say right now, an Israeli friend, one of my best friends, Yarim Tarim Ta'ad, he's over there in the back. And is one of my best friends. He can tell you about the goodbye messages that I start to just, I love you guys. Thank you about everything you did for me. I'm going to die. The terrorist really close to me. After my friends, I start to do goodbye messages to my family. That my older brother lived in Canada at that time. Before October 7, he moved to Canada. I text him, Emil, I love you. You need to come back home. I'm going to die. And then I did a voice message to my mom, and I tell her, Mom, I love you. Thank you about everything you give me in my life. I'm going to die, Mama. The voice message to my mom didn't send. It was really bad connection over there, I can tell you. And 2:24, my phone batteries died. And I can tell you about my mom the day after. She told me that the last thing that she saw, it's me recording a voice message and then completely disappear. So most of you parents, so just imagine to yourself. For my mom, she told me that she and my dad already think that I'm dead. But thank you God I'm here today. I can tell you that every second after 2:24, from the moment that my phone batteries died, for me it's feel really years. Every second, it's feel more than second. After 20 or 30 minutes, I realized that really terrorists behind me. And for a few seconds, I realized that 3 terrorists, one by after, came into my bush. And what happened is that I was in the middle of the bush, and 3 terrorists, one by after one, came from the right and just leave from the left, one by after. For me, I can tell about myself, it was a moment that I'm completely accept my death. More than that, it was a moment that I'm just close my eyes and waiting for the moment they're going to kill me. You know, people say, you see your life in front of you. You know, that the people say that. So in my case, I feel that. Memories from the childhood, memories with my parents. I really feel that. And I just close my eyes. And I remember that it was maybe a 2-3 seconds of completely quiet. And for me, it's like feel that I'm dead. I'm disappear from the world. But after 2-3 seconds, I open my eyes. And the first thing I tell myself, Din, you're still alive. The time is keeping running. I'm without water, without food, without to do number 1, number 2, of course, just inside of the bush waiting and waiting. And I start to smell really bad smell of smoke. From no water, I think that I'm start to hallucinate the smoke that I smell. And I start to think to myself, maybe the terrorists found me right now and now they want to burn me alive. Then I start to thinking, what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight with them. I'm going to stay in the bush. I'm going to fight with the hands. But I decide to stay in the bush. The time is around almost 5, between 5 to 6 p.m. I don't know exactly. I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's a war zone around me. Shooting. The land is shaking. If it's the RPG, if it's the shooting, if it's the screaming. And for just a few seconds, I heard calls. It was between 5 to 6. The mishtara, it's the police. But also I realized the Arabic accent. And I know for me as an Israeli guy, probably also for you, the Arabic accent is in 1 second, you understand it's Arabic accent. And I started to think to myself, how it's possible that all of these hours they're shooting around me, and just for a few seconds, the police here walking like nothing. So I didn't really listen to these voices. And honestly, till today, I don't know if it was the police or if it was the terrorists. The time is around to 6 p.m. It started to be dark a little bit and a little bit, more and more. And I tell myself I need to do something. I get up on my legs, but still in the bush. In the middle of the bush, I just standing with myself, just trying to wave into a helicopter, just waving and waving. And I can tell you the helicopter just pass and pass hundreds of times for like 50 minutes that I just waving, and he didn't saw me. Probably it's because I'm hide so good. And in around 7 p.m., first of all, I was exhausted. Imagine to yourself, that weekend I work a lot. That night I work all of the night. Now it's 7 p.m., I'm 9 hours inside of the bush just waiting. It was at some point I tell myself that I prefer to run away from the bush and probably to die on the way by the terrorist. Just a few seconds before I start to running again, I just freeze with myself. Pray Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. I can tell I never pray like that. I begging for help from God at that moments and just, God, please be with me right now. I need you like I never need you. And then I just leave the bush, start to running. And before I will keep the story, I will want to show you a video of me back to my cactus in January after my first journey in America. I back to the Nova side, I back to my cactus. And a few minutes I speak about cactus and bush, and probably most of you trying to imagine for himself, so I will show you an example. כמו שאתם רואים, אנחנו בתוך השיח, ממש זה השיח שבו התחבאתי, קרוב ל9 שעות, ממש שמה. אתם רואים פה את הענפים פה? נכנסתי שם בין הענפים, אני אגיד לכם את האמת, אני לא יודע איך עשיתי את זה. נכנסתי שם בין הענפים, התחבאתי, עד איזשהו שלב לקראת השעה 6 בערב, שבה אמרתי אני כבר לא יכול לחכות יותר לעזרה, אז באתי לנקודה הזאת איפה שאני עומד עכשיו. ממש כאן, התחלתי לנופף למסוק, ממש בצורה הזאת, הפשטתי את החולצה ממני, התחלתי לנופף כמו שאתם רואים, כמו שאני מספר בהרצאות, נובבתי והייתה פה כיפת השמיים, כמו שאתם רואים, יש פה אשרה כיפה לשמיים. ואני מנופף ואני מנופף, חצי שעה, 40 דקות, קקטוסים סביבי, מסוק חולף מעליי עשרות פעמים, שפשוט לא רואה אותי, והאומללות היא, אי אפשר להסביר באמת. עד איזשהו שלב שכבר 7 בערב, ששם כבר אמרתי לעצמי שאני לא יכול לחכות יותר ואני עייף. אז בחרתי לצאת מהשיח והתחלתי לרוץ, ממש מהיציאה הזאת שאתם רואים. יצאתי ביציאה הזאת והתחלתי לרוץ על החיים שלי. Where I'm standing, you saw the video, and where I get out from the bush, it was the same like I explained. The terrorists came from the right, I was in the middle like you see between the branches, and they just pass, and where I'm standing they just pass and leave. So just imagine to yourself for a second how much it was close. It was so close that they just need to do like this, and they will see my legs. In 7 p.m. I decide to leave. I start to running. I get out from the bush and I just running like I never run. And unfortunately, too many bodies that I saw from the left, from the right, cars that completely explode. And with all of that, it just was to see that for 1-2 seconds, I just keep running. And after 30 or 40 minutes of running, I saw lights from the car far away from me. And I tell myself, or it's the terrorist, or it's the IDF, it's kind of 50-50, so I need to decide what I'm going to do. I just screaming like I never scream, help me, I'm a security guard from the Nova. And thank you God again, he sent me 2 soldiers. The response, it's the IDF. I'm running to them with the hands like that, screaming, please don't shoot on me, I'm a security guard. They didn't. I run into them, they give me water, I drink, I don't know, a few good bottles in a few seconds. And of course the first thing after I charge my phone, the first thing is to call my mom. Mom, I love you, I'm alive. It was a 5 and something hours that nobody know what is going on with me. And I can tell just the screaming in the phone from my mom, it was the best screaming I heard. And the soldiers asked me with who I've been, with who I'm hiding, to understand if more survivors. I tell them that I'm hiding by myself in a cactus, 9 hours after they saw my group murdered in front of me. And They asked me if I want to go to my cactus, go back and search more survivors. And for me, of course, I just tell them, yes, let's go back. We're driving back to the bush. Unfortunately, we don't found survivors, not even one. But something I never forget, it's that we came in closer to the bush, and what I see, the bush next to me is burned, on fire, and still going on fire. For me, I tell myself, the smoke that I smell many hours, it not was hallucinating, and it's actually real. The terrorist burned bush next to me, and I said it because for me, it's another miracle in my miracle story, is what I believe. And after a few minutes, I tell them, please get me out of here. I'm scared. It's still shooting around us. And they take me to the gas station in Urim, in the south. And I got to the gas station. I saw a lot of soldiers, special forces. And then it was the first moment with myself that I tell myself, Din, you survived the October 7. And then I got a call from Bar's brother. His name is O. He should to be here with me, but he left to Israel a few days ago. And or calling me with panic and ask me, where is my brother? Where is Bal? For me, of course, I don't know. So I tell him I don't know, or talk with me, what is going on. And then he sent me the video that Hamas posted in October 7. Hamas posted a video in October 7 around 11 or 12 in the morning. That you can see at the video my best friend, Bar Cooperstein, with more hostages inside of room or tunnel inside of Gaza. And you can see my best friend on the stomach with the hand behind the back. Also the video with Arabic music. So it was a moment that I realized that my best friend is a hostage. And I think it was the hardest moment from that day in October 7. You know, it's the only friend that they came to the Nova only to work and coming back home. And also it's my best friend. It's kind of a brother for me. I remember that I even finished to cry with myself. And again, rockets in the sky. And of course, when it's rockets in the sky, you cannot stay in a gas station, so you need to running again. So I'm run. And after they take me to the hospital in Beersheba, in the south. My parents waited for me in the hospital since around 1 p.m. I came to the hospital around 9, and someone just dropped me off, and my parents there. And I can tell about my mom, she not kind of the woman that's doing sports, she don't run, she have back problems. She not kind of that woman. And why I'm saying that? Because when I get out from the car, she ran to me faster than Usain Bolt, I can tell you. And it was the most emotional moment, I think, all of my life, that I finally see my parents again. After that, take me to Holon, to my city. I get really late, in around 11 p.m. It started 6:30 in the morning. I take a shower 1 hour with myself, that I can tell you all of the pictures, all of the October 7, just coming into my mind in a few seconds, and I just shaking with myself. My mom helped me in that moment. And then October 8th, the day after, I can tell from me, October 8th, it was the day that first of all, I realized with the biggest picture of October 7, with the kibbutzim, with the soldier, with the border, with everything that's going on. And October 8th, I got a call from a really good friend of mine, from my team in the Special Forces. And he even didn't know yet that I'm a survivor from the Nova. And unfortunately, he told me that we lose a friend. I lose a friend. One of my best friends, Or Mizrahi Zichrono Livracha, will show you a picture of both of us. This is me and Mizrahi. In the IDF, in the military, in the army, you have a thing that you call each other in the last name. I don't know why, but I was Tesler, my last name, and this is Mizrahi. And about Mizrahi, first of all, his first name is Or. Or, in Hebrew, it's mean light. I can tell you about this guy. First of all, he's one of my best friends. He was 100% the light of the team. If it was the kind of the soldier doing all of the jokes, kind of the soldier that we really, all of us, we didn't know how is really good relationship with our commanders, because you have distance, in the service with the commanders, and he always got the better treatment than every soldier, and this because this is Mizrahi. And about Mizrahi, I can tell you, he died on October 7 when he was in a base that called Kerem Shalom in the south, and he was between of the first soldiers, all of that border to Gaza, that saw the terrorists and fight. And about Mizrahi, he fight against hundreds of terrorists and fight, and unfortunately he sacrificed his life and he's not with us anymore. About Mizrahi, and so like I said, I will say it again, one of my best friends. I love him like a brother. Many of training, many of missions, many of things that we did together. And about Mizrahi, in his case, he didn't need to go to the army. And I will explain, because he lost his mom when he was 2 years old from cancer. 4.5 years ago, he was on a motorcycle trip with his older brother. 2 motorcycles, he in a motorcycle and his brother on a motorcycle. And he saw how his brother died in front of him from a motorcycle accident. And in these cases of things in the family, the army kind of tell you, listen, we respect you that you want to come and serve, but you can stay home if you want. And for him, not just he go to the forces, he go in my team, the special forces. In the beginning of the service, you learn about your friends, about your team, you speak each other, and he told his first time his story about his family. And all of us, of course, we cried. We didn't believe that this is what the guy been through. And with that, we also asked him, Mizrahi, why? You can easily be right now 19 years old kid in Israel. You can be with your father home. You can go work. You can do whatever you want and start your life. And for us, he always says since the beginning, it's feel inside of myself that not just I need to be in the forces, I need to be in the special forces. And this is what he say always. And in October 7, we saw that, and I respect that he just fights. I miss him a lot, what I can say. One of my best friends. And one of the important things that Mizrahi teach me in my life, it was everything from a good reason. Even the bad thing. And when I was 19, I heard from 19 years old guy that loses his mom, loses his brother. And he told me that, so it's give me really perspective to my life. And this is Mizrahi, like his name, all, the light of the team. And after that call on October 8, I got another call that my personal commander, Eyal Klein, Zichrono Livracha, also died. I don't have a picture with my commander because you don't do pictures with your commanders. And about Klein a little bit, I will say, Klein was my commander in the beginning of the service, and Klein also was fight in the base Kerem Shalom in the south. He fights against hundreds of terrorists and also sacrificed his life to save many. And about Klein, I can tell you that Klein was really hard and tough commander, and I can tell you that for him it never was enough 99%. You have missions, you have time always in the army. It's always about the time. And I can tell you that for Klein, if you lay just in half second, it's just you're doing beginning and over and over and over. For Klein, it's not was enough almost perfect. It not was enough 99.9 success from the mission. For him, it was always just perfect and always just 100%. You complete the mission or not. About Klein, I can tell you that he teach first to be a better teammate to your team, and of course to be a better soldier. He was really tough with us, I can say. And with that, I also miss him. My commander in the beginning of the service, also like a brother. And this was my first days after October 7, that I got another call from another friend that died. Unfortunately, I can tell about my 2 hands about names of people that are not with us anymore. And I got more names of security guards that they hostage. Unfortunately, I know more than just one. If it's Ron Barslavsky, I don't know if who heard the name, also hostage. Eitan Moore. And yeah, this was my first days after October 7. And 5 days after, I decided to go to the Israeli news to go and speak about October 7th, to speak about what happened from security guard. I can tell you that when I finished the interview, I just breathe with myself, really good one, and I tell myself this is what I need to do and I want to do for myself, kind of my healing. And after that, I started to do many of interviews, to speak, to share how much that I can. In November, I fly with a group of the families of the hostages. We've been in New York at the Rabbi Mulubavitch. And after that, from there, we fly to DC. If you remember the big rally last November, it was amazing to see the support. And the group after the rally, they fly back to Israel, and we got the chance to stay. They asked us, you want to stay another week in New York? Just stay in America, you have the flight tickets. I was with two brothers of Bar, and we've been in Washington. The brothers just asked me, we stand, we don't stand, stay in America, and I tell them, don't worry, we will figure out, just bring your stuff and we will figure out. The group left, two brothers, one is 17, was 20, I can tell you both of them, one from this side, one from that side, Din, what we're doing. And we're in the middle of Washington, and I start to call my friends from my team. I have a friend that his parents in New York. We somehow get to New York. It was also miracles, God's help. We get to New York, and then a family, another one, host us. And the mom asked me if I want to go to her synagogue. And it's before the speeches, before I start to talk. So I was nervous a little bit, but then I told Limo, let's go. I can tell you about my first speech. That mom been next to me and did all of the translate. And now I don't need translate. Thank you for that. And after that week, the brothers need to fly back to Israel. And I tell them, listen, I love you. I need to stay in America. I stayed 2 months by myself. And New York, Florida, New York. Speeches, talking. My second journey was between February till April, also 2 months by myself. And the third one was between June to August. And now I'm after 3 weeks after Canada, Toronto, Colorado, and I just drive from Bloomington. I speak also there in Thursday. And this is what I'm doing since October 7. I didn't back to my work, not sell insurance anymore, not for now. And for me, I believe and I think that everyone needs to know exactly what happened. And I want to talk a little bit about Bar Cooperstein. He's my best friend. And for me, of course, he will be my hero for all of my life. He was that one that told me, didn't get inside to the party. And if he didn't tell me that, so probably I will not be standing over here with you right now. So for me, he's my hero, and I can tell you that he takes care of a lot of people. And he takes care of injured people when the terrorist in front of him shooting, and he decides to stay and help. About the family, unfortunately they're suffering not just from October 7. They're suffering already almost 5 years. I will explain. Everyone knows that the organization that called United Atzala. Before I will explain. Yes, no, banana. United Atzala, Eli Beer. I will explain for a second. It's organization. The CEO is called Eli Beer. It's organization inside of Israel that people volunteer and give first medic help. Bar's father was my volunteer. 5 years ago, I was on a call to help to a little kid that been through an accident. On the way, he is on a motorcycle. A woman been in the phone the same time. Hit Bar's father really, really bad. He almost died. And that day, he been through it more than 12 surgery. And unfortunately, after 2-3 months after, he been through it also with a stroke. And I can tell that till today, he disabled in a wheelchair. He cannot walk, of course. He barely can speak. As Israeli, it's hard to understand what he's saying. And I can tell you about, from that day, from the accident until October 7, Bar is the oldest one. They 5 siblings. Bar is 22. Now his Dvir is 21, Or is 17, Hila, she's 14, and Yonatan, 7 years old. So Bar is the oldest one. And since that day till October 7, I can tell you about Bar Cooperstein, that he is the oldest one, and we was only 17. He started to be the father of the house. What does that mean? If it's to go and work and help to the family, and if it's at that time they got really small falafel business, his father always want a family business of food. And from the accident I can tell, but we are friends of Bar. It was finished we was in 12th grade. You finish your day in school, and 12th grade in Israel is the easiest grade. And I can tell you that we are not going and play or doing like every 17 years old. We in turns go to the falafel, help, work completely free because this is our best friend and need help. And this is just a little bit about Bar Cooperstein. For me, I can speak about him till tomorrow. He was volunteer in an organization that called Yedidim. That organization, if people stuck in the roads inside of Israel, with something that happened in their cars or something, you call, volunteer, people came, help you without any payment, without nothing. And this is just a little bit about Bar. I want to share with you a short video of his father that a little bit will say something, and his aunt.
ואני אורה, אני אחותו של קל והדודו של בר. הוא נחטף ביום שבת, ביום המקולל הזה ב7 לאוקטובר. בעצם הלך לעבוד במסיבה הזאת כדי להרוויח כסף לדבר בבית, כדי לעזור למשפחה. המצב הכלכלי שלהם מאוד מאוד קשה. היה חובש להתנדב בעמותת ידידים, גם בתוך האירוע המקולל הזה הוא גם כן עשה את מה שהוא צריך לעשות כחובש, ובמקום להציל את עצמו, טיפל באחרים. הוא התחיל לטפל בפצועים שהיו שם, ואחר כך הוא חבר לחמ"ל של השוטרים, יש גם תמונות שלו, וירו עליהם RPG. וכשירו עליהם RPG, כל אחד הלך לכיוון אחר, ובסביבות 12:30 בבוקר שלחו לנו סרטונים שהגיעו מגאזה ניוז, שבו רואים את בר צועק, בר קופרשטיין. אדם בוגר שיכול היה להציל את עצמו, והוא העדיף לטפל באחרים.
כמו אבא שלו.
כן, כמו אבא שלו. כמו אבא ככה הבן.
He just said that, like the father, like son, he tried to help to others. In his Bar's case, he's taken hostage. His father has been through it. You saw how he's look. And I can tell about myself after October 7 with the speeches and all of that, I try my best for this family. If it's to be the oldest kind of a brother for his young siblings. So his brother's been with me in America a few times. His little one was with me just a few days. He left back to Israel because Tal, his father, don't feel so good. And if it's also to help to the family, and also if that to go and raise money for the family. I can tell about myself, I never love to talk about that. I hate that. But with that, I will not ask from you nothing because I don't love to ask from people. We have a link that we open for the family that I try my best, I can tell you. And I don't ask from you nothing. I will just ask if you can just share the link between people that you know that can help and won't help. The link is, few of them we have small pictures outside. And basically I want to say, first of all, thank you to all of you. Before I will finish the speech, and I always finish with two messages from me to all of you that I would love to, if you can take it with you till the rest, all of your life. One of the message from me to you, it's about appreciate the life. What does that mean to appreciate your life? So of course about myself, in October 7 I was only 21, now 22. So basically I accept my death when I was only 21 years old. I can tell about myself that after October 7, for me, of course, after that you accept your death, you start to appreciate everything. In my case, I saw too many dead people, too much died in front of me, so I'm appreciate even more than every regular person. And I can tell you about my opinion about people all over the world, not just America. My opinion about people that people forget that we don't know what will be in tomorrow morning. People forget that we don't know what will be in a second from now. And honestly, my opinion also that for people, it start to be obviously to wake up in the morning. Okay, I'm waking up, dress, go to work. It's obviously, it's your daily and daily, right? People don't think that it's something special, but for me, of course it's special. I got another day in my life right now. So I want to say, it's not obviously to go to work, it's not obviously to go and be with your family, it's not obviously to spend time with your kids, wife, husband, to fight with your wife, husband, or kids, because probably most of you, I don't know, I'm not married, but it's making sense, right? And with that, nothing of that is not obviously. It's a huge gift to wake up in the morning. It's a huge gift to walk. It's a huge gift to just breathe and be alive. For me, of course, I more appreciate my life since October 7. Honestly, I appreciate every moment I have in my days right now. Also to stand over here and speak and share with you in Kentucky, a place I've never been before, and honestly didn't know about the place. Yeah, sorry about that, but with that, be more appreciate, be more thankful, and please understand with yourself that every day, how much is hard to say, every day is a huge gift. To wake up, to do what you need to do. And with that, I will go to the second message. So we're in a shul, and I will speak about faith and believe in God. From me, you can see tzitzit, yarmulke, but honestly, of course, you know that I work in Shabbat of October 7, so I didn't been close to be something like religious. But with that, about myself, till 3 months before October 7. Till 3 months before October 7, I can tell about myself, I was so non-religious that if to be religious is over here, I'm outside, smoke cigarette. This was the level of not close to faith and nothing of that, and rules and kosher. Something amazing happened 3 months before October 7. Like I shared with you, I work in an insurance company. I met a friend, his name is Ori. Ori in Hebrew, it's my light, just that you will know. And Ori became religious 4.5 years ago. He really religious that, you know that Shomer Negia? That you cannot touch each other? Mm-hmm. This is the level of the guy. And really religious. He in the beginning asked and come to me, Din, you want to come to Shacharit? You want to pray with me in the morning? Like really non-religious. Ori, I know the address, go to someone else. I don't want to, leave me alone. Honestly, I speak with you. With that, I can tell you that he try every day. He came to me and asked. Me and him, we became really good friends in the work. Our brothers, older brothers, they're really good friends. So we became really good friends. After a few days, I tell him, Ori, I will come with you. I can tell that he celebrated like he won in the lotto or something. I don't know why, but I appreciate that he did it. And after that first time I pray, I think it was since Bar Mitzvah. So measure yourself how much non-religious. And when I finish with the pray, Shacharit, we go to a synagogue close to the work. I tell myself, it not was so bad, you know, it not was so bad to go and pray a few minutes to God, basically to say thank you that I wake up in the morning. And after that, I start to go with him every day. And I go to pray, and after a few days that I go with him, I ask him, Ori, I want to get closer more to God, what I can do. And he know that I don't keep the kashrut, so he's start with the cheeseburger and the pizza pepperoni. This is what he tell me. Start with the kashrut. And I can tell you that 2.5 months before October 7, I stopped with the cheeseburgers, no pizza, pepperoni, rabbi anymore. I promise to you. And I can tell you that after a week, I asked him, Ori, I want to do another thing, what I can do. He told me, put tefillin from now every day. Trust me, it save your life one day. And he told me that 2.5 months before October 7. I started to put tefillin every day. Everyone knows that tefillin, right? And it was only almost 2 months before October 7. And then October 7 came. And like I tell you right now, my story of October 7, I believe it's about miracle, and another one, and another one. Many of people, they love to tell me, come and tell me how much luck you have, young man. How much luck. But nothing of that was a luck. For me, I 100% know it was only God that gave me a second chance. Now I live in my second life. First life was in October 7. The second one started in October 8. The best life, how much I can, of course. And with that, I can tell you about faith. I have today faith and believe in God like I never been. I believe and trust God, and I feel God also with me every day. I speak to God, I ask from God, and can tell you the faith is the best psychology that I have also. When you see the good and the bad things, it's the best way to keep and moving forward with your life. When I say that, it's really sadness inside of that, because how you can see a good things in that moment that 364 people murdered in the Nova, right? How it's making sense to say that. But with that, I will give you an example that you can see the good and the bad. So of course, it not was making sense that the Nova was so close to the Gaza border. Of course, many people. Why did it so close? Why not different place in Israel? First of all, because no one imagined to yourself there's something that can happen. Of course, because it's never happened. But with that, I want to say that probably you know that hundreds of terrorists came to the Nova and did the crazy thing that they did. If it's a raping woman, killing people, burn people, many of things that they did. When I say try to see the good things and the bad things, the example is, imagine to yourself hundreds of terrorists not came to the Nova to the south. They will go up to Israel. They will go to Ashkelon, close to the center, Rishon LeZion, Tel Aviv, and up to Haifa and all of the Israel. Then what will happen? It not will be 1,400 people that die in October 7 or 13. It will be many thousands of people. So basically, every soul, every person that died, that murdered at the Nova, he saved thousands of lives from inside of Israel. So I don't want to hear from people that say, why did it so close? It happened that it's so close. No one imagined to yourself. And with that, all of the people that died over there, murder, they saved thousands of lives. This is the example of to see the good and also in the bad. For me, this is how I keep and living my life after October 7. Try to see from every bad moment, and I have a lot. Of course, I'm living with PTSD, obviously. I try my best. But with that, about faith and believe in God, it's not about if you're Jewish, it's not about if you're Christian, it's not about if you're Muslim, not about from any different country in the world. The faith and believe that you have Father in the sky, Father, Elohim, Allah in Arabic, everyone in His name, and you believe that He doing the best for you. Whenever you don't see that right now, but this is about faith and belief. Not who you are, where you're from, it's how you believe. For me, with myself, I believe that everything that happened to me in all of my life, not just October 7, right now I can say, it's from a good reason. For me, God sent me tests all of the time in my life. Before the army, after the army, October 7, after October 7. And for me, I know that exactly what happened to me. I know I'm only 22, but we're more mature than Americans, I can tell you for sure. As a 22, I can tell you that I believe that everything that happened for me, it's the best for me. And this is how God wants, and this is what I try to say. Faith and believe, just believe. It's not have to keep the kashrut. It's not have to be about rules. It's not have to be nothing of that. It's just you take with yourself that I believe, I know, I feel, I trust on God. And this is how you keep on living your life. And trust me, I can tell about myself after October 7, when I have all of the reason to just to spend in my bed right now, in my room in Israel, cry every day, since the morning till the night. I have all of the reason to do that, but about myself, with the faith, with the belief, I never fall into it, not even for one day. I just go and do things. And this I can tell you, it's because of the God, because of the faith. And I will say, almost like last thing, I don't know who is religious, who is praying, who is not, but I will ask from you, it's take only a few seconds. If you can just please pray on my best friend, Bar Avraham Ben Julia. This is his full name from the prayers. If it's the woman that candles in Friday, if it's the man's over here, if you pray in the morning, or you know what, it's not even need to be prayer or something. It can be, God please, Bar Avraham Ben Julia will come back home to his family. It will take from you 3 seconds, that's it. And with that, I want to say thank you to all of you sitting over here and listening to me speak for almost 1 hour. I have the friend over here that he's tired from that. He heard many of speeches. I can tell if I was sick, he can switch with me. Not really. And with that, thank you. Thank you very much, Rabbi, that I'm here and it's happened. I'm glad to be here. And with that, I will let you ask questions if you have, if you want to ask questions. But before that, I will say it before, I don't want to hear about politics. No Bibi Netanyahu and no Netanyahu and not Ben Gvir and not even one politic person in Israel. Don't forget, I'm only 22, released almost 2 years ago, survived the Nova 1 year ago, and now I'm here. Don't want to speak about politics. And thank you very much, all of you, that I can say.
So we have an oneg right there, and I will invite everyone there, and Din will be there if you want to ask him questions. If you and not about politics, you might be clear, not about American politics either, and everyone is invited to the oneg. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Din.